Well, was our last day of camping. It's, I don't know, like 7 o'clock in the morning or something. And we are breaking up the camp and setting, setting out today to go back to our launch site. And then eventually I'm going to take the ferry back to Anacortes from Friday Harbour to finish this 3-day experience. It was really nice. Um, I didn't do that much of videotaping during the paddling tours because mainly I was busy working on those strokes and I had no place to put the camera to. Um, I'm trying to get a little bit more footage uh, on today's paddling day, but I can't promise. Anyways, but it was really cool. Our guides, Matt and Trey, pretty cool guys, very professional, very well organized. Yeah, that was a really sweet trip. This was my first camping out, on a campsite in the wilderness. It was awesome. Yep. So this place we are right now at is called Reed Harbor on Stewart Island, which is, now let me think. Uh, I think it's just north of Friday Harbor or something. I don't know. You might want to look that up on a map. Yeah, regarding seeing any orcas, we haven't had luck so far, but um, that's wildlife. They don't show up on a press of a button. So we might be really lucky on our last day to spot one, but I doubt that. Nevertheless, we did see a lot of eagles, a lot of different kind of birds, and deer on the island. That was really fun. Yep. Too bad that it is over. I loved being outside, especially at night when you are sleeping in your tent. It's like dead quiet outside. I'm not used to that. And in the morning you wake up with the birds. Pretty cool stuff. So I'm gonna take you back to our campsite now. You can see how much gear we actually can carry inside the kayaks. It's great. Here comes Matt. Okay, now I'm back on the ferry to Anacortes. Our 3-day kayak trip is over. We had a wonderful time together with Matt, Trey, Jim, and Beth. So Trey and Matt, they left back to the office, and Jim and Beth are going to spend 2 more days here on Friday Harbour. I'm heading back to Anacortes to pick up my car and continue my journey through Washington. At the drop-off point, luckily there was public showers available, so I did hop under a shower, which was really nice. And by the time I got out, the ferry was already waiting, so here's the next surprise. The ride back to Anacortes from Friday Harbour is free of charge. Okay, so here we are now, leaving Friday Harbour, back to Anacortes. Do you see this ship right in front of us, the Victoria Clipper? This ship will take you straight across to a small town called Victoria on Vancouver Island, British Columbia, Canada. This is a really beautiful town, and yeah, during our kayak tour we learned enjoying the wonderful environment here. We enjoyed a lot about the marine life and the birds, especially the bald eagle, of course. We weren't fortunate enough to see any orcas, but that is a bonus anyway, so you're not actually paddling out at the San Juan to see orcas. If they do pop up, that's just your lucky day. Otherwise, you just enjoy a beautiful paddling. So what I want to point out is you can see right behind me and above the beautiful weather we had during the entire time we went out paddling, and except for the second day, it was a little bit of windy, so we had to work really hard on the paddles. And today, when we head out the channel, it was picking up wind again, and the waves started to rise, so we had to turn around and find another way. See, and this is San Juan Island. There are a bunch of islands in these waters. I just forgot their names. There are just tons of them. Some of them are private owned. Some of them are accessible only by airplane, floatplane, or by a boat. And on each island you always have a, except for the private ones of course, you have a beautiful spot to do your camping. So in order to save time, we decided to leave our camping spot where it was, so we didn't want to waste time by loading up the boats and unloading at a different place. So we basically stayed at the same place and just paddled around the area. So for the rest of the day, I don't know yet what I'm going to do. First of course, I'm just going to head back to the car, and from there I'm just going to pack in all my gear, and then I still need to decide on that. check out that weather. Isn't that nice? Riding those sailboats should be definite fun. So as you can see in the background, the water is today a lot different than the day I went out to Friday Harbour from Anacortes. So whenever the wind picks up, everything changes, you know, the water gets all choppy like that. And another interesting thing about the waters on the islands around here is Matt showed me the current charts. Okay, so it's really dramatic changes every hour, and that of course depends also on the moon phase, he explained. So yeah, that makes decision making, you know, where to paddle for a guide extremely difficult, because he has to consider, next to weather, also the current flow, and that makes it really responsible for, you know, whenever he makes a false decision, the group could get into trouble. Of course, did a very good job. The current charts, it's like really amazing. You have the currents going and the next 30 minutes it changes from up to down. It's really strange. Northwest region is just amazing. It's so wonderful. You know, I would say after Northern California, this is my second favorite state. approaching Anacortes Harbour, probably another 10 minutes to go before we actually get onto land. So right, this mountain range in the far distance, that's the Northern Cascades. So that is probably another wonderful place to go out and drive. And if I am really not mistaken, probably that one over there. You know, the one in the background with the white snow tops. If I'm not mistaken, that should be Mount Baker. And the Northern Cascades are a range of volcanic mountains. They stretch from Canada all the way down to Northern California to Lassen Volcanic Park. So what am I going to do next? I'm going to make that dependent on the weather. You know, if it is like really nice, I might go out, drive to the Olympic Peninsula, which is supposed to be also very, very beautiful. Another option for me would be to stay in Seattle for a little bit, go see the Boeing factory and the Museum of Flight, Seattle itself, the waterfront. Yeah, those are about my options. But I do tend to drive out to the Olympic Peninsula starting today, drive back to Seattle, drop off my gear, my rental gear, and then you know, maybe explore the city a little bit during the evening hours before I board the ferry to go over to Bremerton and from there to Port Orchard, where I'm going to spend the night before leaving very early in the morning to drive out to the Olympic Peninsula. I don't know yet, whatever I feel like. Actually, that's the best thing to do. Don't plan ahead, just do it. You know, after all, I'm not a guide and I'm just responsible for myself, so yeah, here you go. Yeah, with the group I went kayaking, we did exchange our email addresses, so I'm really looking forward to hearing from them how they're doing. And yeah, we were just a small group, so that was me, that was Jim and his wife Beth. We were the only 3 guests on this tour, so it was very private. Plus we had a really cool guide, Matt, and his assistant. We always picked on him. Sorry for that. His assistant, Trey, also a really fine dude. Yeah, it was an awesome trip. 3 days passed by like nothing. If I come next time, I just definitely want to make sure this duo is going to be guiding the tour, and of course it's going to be extended to 5 days instead of 3. Yeah, this is Anacortes. You can see it from the other side. I still didn't manage to do a lot of videos during paddling because, like I said, I was just busy paddling. There was really no chance to pull out the camera, you know, to do some videotaping. but yeah, at least I got a little achievement. Yeah, Anacortes is on Fidalgo Island, and at first I thought that was part of the mainland. Of course it isn't. There is another bridge connecting Fidalgo Island to the mainland. Okay, so we're getting ready to dock. Wow, isn't that beautiful? It's so windy and cold. Alright, let's go. So, I'm back in my car, and actually I did manage to decide what to do next. So, here's what's going to happen. I'm going to drive back to Seattle now. First off, going to return my rental equipment to have that done, and then I'm going to spend the rest of the day, which is going to be actually basically just the evening in Seattle. I'm going to find a fine place to eat, and then I'm just going to take the ferry from downtown Seattle to Bremerton, and from Bremerton it's another short drive over to Port Orchard, where I'm going to stay the night. So the ride from Seattle to Bremerton is very nice because you get a beautiful view of downtown Seattle, so that should be nice. And Bremerton itself, there is a Navy yard, or well, I don't know if you would call it like that. You know, it's just a huge amount of ships not used anymore. Wow, look at that! Huge amount of ships not used anymore. So that should be an interesting view. And yeah, I'm just going to stay the night over there, and then the next day we're gonna hit the road again to the Olympic Peninsula, and do a little bit more outdoor stuff. Yeah, I so wish I just had more time here, because it is absolutely beautiful. Alright, so yeah, that's the plan. The rest of the day in Seattle, and then the next day on the road again, driving to or through the Olympic Peninsula. It's supposed to be a very beautiful drive, so we're going to see about that. So if I'm going to spend an entire day on the road, that'll cover the 24th, and then on the 25th I'm back in Seattle. Let's make that the Museum of Flight. And 26th I might go see the Boeing factory, and then yeah, it's just one more day left to see Seattle maybe. I don't know, I'm just going to let things happen. So but right now, back to Seattle, drop off the rental gear, and have a nice dinner. Okay, so this is Anacortes, small nice town on Fidalgo Island. We are going southbound, and behind those houses you can see, well, I think you know where all the clouds are. That's North Cascades. But look at here, no single cloud. It's such a beautiful day. And here we are. This piece of road here should connect Fidalgo Island with the mainland. So this is Washington 536 towards Mount Vernon. Place where you cross a bridge from Fidalgo Island over to the mainland. You see that one? Yep, that's our bridge. Oh, beautiful. There goes your Dodge Ram. I forgot that another great place for wine is Washington State, and we are actually currently driving through the vineyards. So just a couple minutes ago I passed by Tulip Valley, Tulip Valley Winery. Yep. I wonder how the Washington wine tastes, but I bet it's, you know, a good one. Pad Emergency Center. Don't you love those mountains? So we are driving through a small city called Mount Vernon. I think it's that one is Mount Vernon. Seafood buffet. Yep. Beautiful here. Entering Mount Vernon. Yeah, so see this small mountain, that's probably Mount Vernon. Nice town. Or maybe that large one. Maybe that one is Mount Vernon. Skagit River. Sweet.
In 0.2 miles, turn right on South 1st Street.
Yep. I see this tulip symbol. In April this year there was a tulip festival. Turning right on.
Turn right on South 1st Street.
And I'm driving now through the city of Everett, trying to spot the Boeing factory. Well, it's over here. So it's supposed to be building-wise the largest building. So yeah, no sign of it. I set a new speed record for this. 100 miles an hour. and this is Northwest Auto Center, right by Lake Union, a huge lake that goes through you know, downtown area. It's pretty nice, so you can actually do some kayaking inside a big city like Seattle. Pretty sweet. Yes, I did return my kayaking gear to the outdoor center. That was like really close because they closed down the store at 8 and I just arrived 4 minutes before 8 o'clock, but I drove like a maniac, so alright, that set a new record. Anyway, now I am going to cross over to Bremerton, which is across the Puget Sound. Okay, well, here I'm back again. Sorry about that, battery died. So yeah, I'm driving to the Seattle Bremerton ferry now to cross the Puget Sound over to Bremerton and then to Port Orchard, where I'm going to rest for the night, you know, get my hotel room. Yeah, that's about it for today. So I'm going out to have a nice dinner somewhere, and in the morning the next day I'm going to head out early to drive over to the Olympic Peninsula. This is going to be a good one, so I'm looking forward to that. And of course, yeah, crossing with the ferry from Seattle over to Bremerton is also a very nice treat. You can see the entire city from the ferry, which is very nice. So yeah, you're gonna find out. The ferry leaves at...
Recalculating.
The ferry leaves at 9:05 and it is...
Drive 400 feet, then turn right on
8:20.
Terry Avenue North.
So it should be okay. I should make it on time. So, oh, there you go. Look at that. That's the Space Needle. Stop. Zoom. That is the Space Needle. I'm going to climb on that one too. Seattle seems beautiful. You know, I could imagine living here because, you know, you have the city, you can get your needs done, okay. At the same time, you can go, it's not really that far away. If you're sick of the city and are looking for some solitude, you can always drive out the Puget Sound to see, you know, to see the islands, to do some outdoor activities. Pretty cool. Oh, it's raining a little bit. Oh yeah, I have to check the weather for tomorrow too. So I hope it's going to be nice. Oh shit. That's what I find always confusing here driving in the city. So you're following one lane and then actually this lane suddenly ends. What I do love about that is making turns on red like this. And another left here. Oh yeah. confusing. Lost satellite reception. Oh, off, man. Well, pardon my driving. I really shouldn't do that. Oh, I think we passed by the Pike Place. Pike Place Market is another.
In 0.2 miles, turn right on Madison Street.
Yeah. That's another cool place, I guess, to check out. Strange building. Oh, we gotta
turn right on Madison Street.
Is that Madison? Yeah. Well, look at that. That does remind me of San Francisco. How sweet. Oh, there's a ferry dock, I guess.
Continue 0.3 miles, then turn left on Alaskan Way.
Yep. Seattle has something really nice about it. Alright. Yep, so I made it to the ferry. We have to wait until the ferry arrives. So here in Seattle, pretty much a lot of things work only with the ferry. It makes moving around so much more efficient. So without the ferry, I don't know. And Washington State has an excellent ferry system. Those ferries operate really late at night, and for some reason at some places you always pay one fare and the return is always free. It's very strange. So this is one is Quest Field and the other one is Safeco Field, two stadiums. One is for baseball, I think it's Quest Field, and the other one, I don't know, probably for soccer maybe, or for football from the Seahawks. But I do believe that the Seahawks would play in the Quest Field, which is the larger one of the stadiums, if I'm not mistaken. So this is Safeco Field for soccer and Quest Field for football and baseball. I'm not sure. Yep. Well, there's one ferry coming. Maybe that's ours. Let's get to the car. This terminal is huge. There are a lot of lanes for cars, but at the moment it's empty, probably because it's out of season. The ferry seems to be huge. Look at that truck. Probably going to come on the ferry too. There's slight rain. So these large container ships come from the Strait of Juan de Fuca down to Seattle and to Everett. We've seen these during our kayak trip at the San Juans. Looks like an observatory or something. I'm now on the ferry called Kitsap from downtown Seattle over to Bremerton Island, it's on an island. And from the back of the boat or ferry, you have a beautiful look into downtown Seattle. Look at that. And you can see the Space Needle. And from top of the Space Needle, you should have a really good view to the Puget Sound. base level for all the cars to board the ferry, and the ferry is rather small, so the capacity is limited, especially if you have large trucks like that one also inside the ferry. So the cars either merge over to the right, to the left, stay in the middle, or move over to the right. In order to use the full capacity of the ferry, they have also ramps on the side, each left and right, to board, to take as many cars as possible. So the guy just puts them under the tires of the car in order to prevent movement. See, there are also 2 lanes on the upper deck for cars. Really going fast. So as seen on the map, so far we just went in a straight line after we left the harbor from Seattle, but if we turn over there, we are now going to make, if I'm not mistaken, we are going to make a left turn to go around Bremerton Island, which is, I believe, that one right in front of us. And then it makes another turn over to approach Bremerton. It's raining. The other thing I learned about the San Juan Islands is that whatever weather you got here in Seattle doesn't necessarily affect the San Juans. For example, you know how beautiful the weather was when I left today, and now look at that. It's all gray and rainy. Nevertheless, Seattle seems to be a beautiful city. Well, and this is the front part of the ship. It's a little bit quieter here, however a little bit wetter because it's raining. Can't see. Ah, yeah. Well, up there, that's where the captain is. A little bit to the side. Still see downtown Seattle. It looks beautiful with all the lights, but I think it's not going to be that visible on the video. We are making the turn. However, I was wrong. We are not turning to the left, we are actually turning to the right. So what would that be? Starboard? No, port side. Port side is what you call it, right? I love the ferries here. Really nasty weather. I don't know if you're able to see it, but there are houses right by the water. It looks so beautiful. What a lovely place.